The jungle pressed close. It wasn't the thick green jungles of distant lands, but the raw, unforgiving wilderness of the frontier, tangled brush, towering pines, swamps that swallowed men whole. The year was 1872, and the frontier still belonged as much to nature as it did to man. A woman stumbled through that wilderness, her dress torn, her hair plastered to her face with sweat and blood. Her name was Evelyn Harper, a widow, 30 years old, her hands roughened by years of work, her soul scarred by war and loss. The Civil War had taken her husband, leaving her with 3 small children, but a fever took them too, one by one, until she was left with nothing but memories that hurt more than wounds. And now the land itself was trying to claim her. She leaned against a tree, her chest heaving, her lips cracked, her feet swollen from miles of walking without food or water. The night pressed in. From the brush came the hiss, long, low, a sound that twisted through her marrow. Her eyes widened. The moonlight revealed the shimmer of scales. A massive timber rattlesnake, thick as her arm, coiled in the shadows, its rattle silent, its head lifting slowly. Evelyn's breath caught. She couldn't move. Her strength was gone. She whispered to herself, as though speaking to the ghosts of her children, "I'm dying, my babies. I'm sorry." Her hand trembled as she clutched the locket at her neck. Inside it, 3 tiny sketches, her children's faces. She pressed it to her lips. The snake inched closer. Her legs refused to run. The world spun. She sank to her knees, a lone widow on the edge of death, whispering goodbye to the only faces she loved. But then, a flash, a gunshot. The snake's head exploded in the dirt inches from her hand. She gasped. A shadow stepped from the trees, tall, lean, broad-shouldered, his hat tipped low, rifle still smoking. Moonlight caught the edge of his jaw, the glint of eyes hardened by years of trail dust. He was a cowboy, though the wilderness made him look more like a spirit than a man. And to Evelyn, he looked like salvation. He approached slowly, holstering his rifle, crouching beside her. His voice was low, steady, carrying the calm of someone used to danger. "Easy now, ma'am. You're safe." But Evelyn shook her head weakly. Her voice rasped. "No one's safe, not out here." Her eyes fluttered, and she collapsed into darkness. The cowboy caught her before she struck the ground. He lifted her in his arms like she weighed nothing. His gaze lingered on her pale face, the locket clenched tight in her fist. He hesitated for a moment, then turned, carrying her deeper into the wilderness. That night, the firelight flickered against a small clearing. The cowboy had laid her on a bed of pine needles, wrapped her in his coat. He cooked a strip of venison over the flames, his eyes never leaving her face. She stirred, whispering in her fever, words broken, but clear enough. "My children, where are my babies?" The cowboy's jaw tightened. He looked away, pain flickering in his eyes, because he, too, knew what it was to lose. The opening night passed in silence, broken only by wolves howling in the distance. And Evelyn, half conscious, clung to life not by strength, but by the sudden presence of this mysterious stranger. Morning broke, red across the trees. Evelyn woke to the smell of smoke and meat. She blinked, her vision blurry, and saw him sitting cross-legged by the fire. He looked different in daylight. His hair was dark, streaked with sun and trail dust. His eyes were storm gray, unreadable. His shirt was patched, his boots worn. Everything about him spoke of miles traveled, battles fought, burdens carried. "You're awake," he said simply. She struggled to sit. He offered her a tin cup of water. She drank, gasping. "You saved me," she whispered. He shrugged, did what needed doing. Snake wasn't going to show you mercy. Evelyn studied him. "Who are you?" He hesitated before answering. "Name's Caleb Ward." The name carried weight, though she didn't know why. Evelyn lowered her gaze. I should thank you, but truth is, you only delayed what was coming. I've got nothing left to live for. Caleb's jaw hardened. Don't talk like that. You don't know me. I don't have to. His voice was sharp, but beneath it was something else. A wound hidden. Days passed. She tried to walk, but her strength was gone. He hunted, brought back food, built shelter. Slowly, her body mended, and in the quiet moments, by firelight, by riverbanks, beneath storm-heavy skies, their guarded hearts began to open. She told him of her children, how the fever swept through her cabin, how she buried them with her own hands. He listened silent, his gaze fixed on the flames. At last she asked softly, "And you? What brought you out here alone?" For a long time he didn't answer. Then, in a voice low and ragged, he said, "I had a wife, a son. Bandits came one night. I couldn't stop them. Buried them myself. After that, I kept writing. Nowhere to go. Nothing to keep." Silence fell heavy between them. Two souls broken by loss. Two ghosts wandering the wilderness. But something unexpected began to stir. Trust. When a storm hit, they built shelter together, their hands working side by side. When wolves prowled, they faced them together, rifles ready, hearts steady. One night, as rain lashed the earth, Evelyn woke from a nightmare. She whispered her children's names, and Caleb, without words, sat beside her, laying his coat over her trembling shoulders. It was a small gesture, but in that moment, she realized something. He wasn't just saving her life. He was reminding her how to live again. Their bond deepened, slowly, painfully, but surely, and then danger returned. On the third week, riders appeared, bandits, lean men with hungry eyes. Evelyn and Caleb were gathering wood when the men surrounded them. "Look what we got here," the leader sneered. "A lady and her trail dog." Caleb stepped in front of her. His hand hovered over his holster. The bandits laughed. "Easy, cowboy. Ain't no need for blood, unless you're eager." Tension crackled. Evelyn's breath caught. For a moment, it seemed Caleb might draw, gun smoke filling the air. But the leader's eyes lingered on Evelyn. He grinned wicked. "Pretty thing. Bet she'd fetch good coin." That was the mistake. Caleb's gun flashed. The first bandit fell. Chaos erupted. Shots rang. Horses screamed. Evelyn dove for cover as Caleb fought, with fury born of grief and rage. When the dust cleared, 3 men lay dead. The others fled. Caleb's chest heaved. His hand trembled as he holstered his gun. Evelyn rose, shaken. You killed them." His voice was hoarse. "I told you before. This land shows no mercy." But she saw something else in his eyes. Not just violence, but fear. Fear of losing again. Fear of failing someone he cared for. And in that moment, she knew the truth. Caleb Ward wasn't just a wanderer. He was a man running from love, because love meant loss. The wilderness tested them again and again. Hunger, storms, wounds. But each trial bound them closer, until the final test came. The bandits returned, this time with more men. At dawn, smoke rose from the trees. Caleb woke Evelyn with a hand on her shoulder. His voice was calm, but urgent. "They found us." Gunfire cracked. Bullets tore through branches. The fight was brutal. Caleb fired until his gun clicked empty. Evelyn grabbed a fallen rifle, her hands shaking, and fired too. Together, they drove the bandits back, but not before Caleb took a bullet in the side. He staggered, blood soaking his shirt. Evelyn cried out, dragging him to cover. Her hands pressed the wound. "Don't you dare leave me, Caleb Ward." His eyes fluttered. "Evelyn, no. You saved me. You carried me from death itself. I won't let you go now." Her tears fell hot onto his skin. For a moment, it seemed fate would claim him, but he gritted his teeth. forced himself to stand, fired the last shot that sent the bandits fleeing into the trees. And when silence finally fell, Evelyn was still holding him, whispering words she never thought she'd speak again. "I can't lose you. Not after everything. Not after you taught me to live again." Caleb's hand cupped her face, rough but gentle. "I ain't going anywhere, Evelyn. Not anymore." Days later, when the wounds healed, they stood together at the edge of the wilderness. The land stretched wide before them, unknown, unforgiving. But this time, neither walked it alone. Caleb took her hand. For the first time in years, Evelyn felt warmth spread through her chest. Two broken souls had found each other in the jaws of death, and though the past would never leave them, the future was theirs to claim. On the frontier, love was rarer than gold. Some found it not in towns or churches, but in the wild places when death pressed close and life seemed lost. Evelyn Harper whispered that she was dying, but fate whispered back, and a cowboy answered. If this story gripped your heart, imagine how many more tales lie hidden in the dust of the old frontier. Don't let them fade. Hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more stories of survival, loss, and unexpected love.